So I have just got off the bus at King's Lynn. I kind of had to take a detour from the coastline because, as I've been trying to say to some of you in the comments and left a post, the reception along there is just absolutely terrible. And so for me to do some editing on videos, I kind of ideally even need to be in Signal so I can use my data, or at least be attached to some kind of Wi-Fi. It also means that as I'm walking along there, I can't answer comments and stuff like that because I'm often on emergency calls only. So it's kind of added a bit of a spanner in the works, but it's cool though, because it just means I have to explore more. So I've got the bus off there, I've come into King's Lynn, which means I'll have to spend a couple of days in town. Thankfully at King's Lynn they've got a Wetherspoon, so I'm going to go in there and then I can edit the next video. So you can kind of see again the little dilemmas that come up that you're not expecting, especially the way that I do it. You know, I move, I just continuously move, going through the towns, going through the countryside, going through the mountains or whatever, you know, so you can see kind of the effort that I'm prepared to put into this life in order to, you know, enjoy it, if you like. I do what I enjoy, and it's hard work, but I enjoy the hard work, as we know. Anyway, with that said, here's King's Lynn. I've never been here before, so spin round the rear. Oh, and someone's listening to Pink Floyd, my favourite band of all time. That's absolutely brilliant. I'm going to stand here and listen to that. Yeah, I wish you were here. Anyway, what I didn't say was it's also gone 8 o'clock at night, so I've now got to try and find somewhere to sleep in this strange old town. So, well, it looks lovely here, it looks nice and peaceful. Of course I like it, but it's new, you know, it's new. It might sound, I know a couple of people have mentioned this, that you can't just like everything. I'm like, well, I can. It might not be that I particularly like the thing that's going on, but I like the feeling that I have when I come to somewhere new. So perhaps that's what it is. That's why I like the exploration. Everything is new. You expand when you go into the unfamiliar, whether that's physically or mentally. You know, so when I come into an unfamiliar zone in the physical world, like in the form world, which is this, of course it's going to provoke a feeling of newness in me that I've not seen it before. So it's exciting. There you go. Okay, it's enough of that. Let's have a little look inside here. Which one? Which one? Oh, it's empty. That's good. Oh, not quite. As always with Wetherspoons, it goes on for miles. Hello. Hello, mate. Look, it just goes on forever. It's like a city within a city. Massive. And there's even more. Look, it just keeps going on and on and on. Okay, that's it. We've reached the end of it. Everyone looks at me like, who's this lunatic with the thing on his back, just walking through filming everyone? Well, there you go. Just bringing Wetherspoons to the world. So I've just come out of Wetherspoons and it's gone 9, and these two beautiful girls here just spent 10 minutes talking to me, telling me where I should go. Abby and Katie, thank you so much, girls. That was so interesting talking to you two. And they pointed me in the right direction where they think I would be able to find somewhere to sleep. But what they also told me was, I won't do this any justice, however I'm going to try. There's a church just over there, and next to that was a building where they used to carry out exorcisms and stuff. Now this square that I'm currently standing in as well is called Tuesday Marketplace, I think she said. Tuesday Marketplace or Tuesday Square. Underneath here is a bomb shelter, but also they used to hang witches here back in the day. So apparently King's Lynn is also a really quite a haunted town. So I kind of made them laugh and was just saying, are you sure you're sending me to somewhere, you know, where I'm going to be safe here? Also, they told me about this place here. Now, I'm going to look up the story on this and do it proper justice. I might have a tour around King's Lynn. I wasn't going to, but I might do. Because she said something about, there's a story to this, that a witch's heart was ripped out and thrown against the wall or something like that. Like I say, I'm probably getting that slightly wrong. But that there is a witch's heart, and it's full of... it's full of all... well, it's supposed to be haunted and stuff, so let's go and have a little look round the back of it. Of course, it's getting dark. I have to start exploring witches' hearts. I don't think this is it. I mean... no, that's not it. There's a bike shed. Yeah, so I'm going to find out some stuff about that building. And I might do a little tour of this place because it's supposed to be kind of haunted and all sorts of things. So I want to find out about it. It's not, I hope I find somewhere to sleep quite early and get in my tent. We all know about the zombies. You know, like when I was in Scotland, I mentioned it in the other video about the zombies. So maybe this town has actually got zombies in it. And this might be the time when I need to use, you know, well, you just used to need my escape and evasion skills. Right, okay. On a more serious note, they told me to head down towards a fire station, and just opposite a fire station there's a big open field, which they said I should be able to tuck away somewhere into a corner and not be too seen and whatever else. So I'm going to crack on with that, because despite the fact that when things do go wrong, I do quite enjoy it, they also do tire me out. This is, like I said in the Swindon video and some of the others, that this is actually all just a part of my life happening. It's not, you know, I don't come to do this and then film it and then take it home, go home, shower, relax and all that, and then edit the film the next day. Nothing wrong with that, never bitching about that. That's just how my life is. It's how I've chosen it to be. However, that doesn't mean it's not tiring nonetheless. So I will be taking it seriously, trying to find somewhere to sleep. When I'm laughing, because there's always this little side of me that's very boisterous or playful, and well, it wants to find things out, and it kind of likes the sort of the mystery of it all. Actually thinking about it, maybe I laugh because I say things that I think are sensible, and I say things that I think I should say. No, I'm definitely finding somewhere to sleep. It's getting late, it's getting dark. Now come on, Toby, you must start taking this seriously. And then there's the devil voice going, oh, shut up, you know you're not listening to that. You're going to go and find the witch. Or you're going to get in all sorts of mischief. Maybe that's why I laugh. I kind of never know what's going to come next. It's interesting, it's fascinating, it's terrifying, and it's exhausting. Okay, right, I'm going to go for a little while and get to this fire station and see if I can get somewhere to pitch my tent. Wow, there's a load of cats around here. There was that one in the church. There's two, well, they're probably out of view now because I wasn't thinking about it. There's two sat at the end of the road there. There's one up the top there. There's one up on top of that ridge line there. And there's two down in that ditch. What's going on around here? Maybe all the witches left their cats behind. Oh, this is it. This is Mystery Town. Hello. Hello. Who do you belong to? Which left you behind? Come on. Come say hello. Beautiful thing. My Bergen squeaking. Well, it's starting to get a lot more quiet out here now, which is nice, which is good. It's getting quite dark now as well, so I'll start taking it a little bit more seriously. Yeah, so I'm glad it's getting quieter. Be nice to find somewhere quite soon. I'm quite tired. Okay, right. I'm at the fire station, so they said opposite the fire station, which is, well, opposite would be that side, but on the wrong side of the fence. So perhaps I have to. Sorry, I'm thinking you're the other way round, guys. I am. Right, there's the fire. Here's the fire station. They said there's a field opposite. So, okay. So it's kind of over there, or perhaps it's behind that big bush there. So I've got to get through this, over this fence somehow, which is a shame because it looks like the only way around it is right back out down the end of the road. What's down here, I wonder? Might as well have a quick look while I'm here. I think I know what the girls were saying. They did say round the back. Yes, they did say round the back, not opposite. This looks a bit more promising. Plenty of police cars in there as well. Got to be honest, it's always, you know, as much as I laugh about it and stuff like that, it's kind of when it starts getting dark like this and you're in these strange towns and these things they all kind of look different in the dark, and it does make the I can feel my senses liven up big time. Look, another cat. You know, and the reality is I have to somehow walk in there. Stinging nettles all over the place. I wonder. Oh, there you go, that's better. This stuff's very long, guys. This grass is up to my sort of chest. It's really soft ground as well. I'm kind of sinking in that a little bit. Okay, come on, Tubbs, do something. I'll stand here. Ooh, what's this? Okay. Wow. Well, that opened up into something flat. Okay. It's these are genuinely, like, they can be quite scary at times like this. You know, you start, sometimes the reality of what you're doing kicks in. You know, I'm not trying to dramatise, guys, it's not that channel. But I am actually standing here in the dark at this thing, thinking, okay, I'm going to set up, and I'm going to be, you know, unconscious. I'm going to go to sleep. So it kind of, yeah, it can be. These can be quite daunting moments. So let me spin you around again. Right, look, it's pitch black in there. Do I try and get in there? Or do I stay out in the light a bit? Trouble is setting up. I mean, that would be good in there because it's don't think anyone would see me, but number one, I've got to get in there. You'll see it in the morning, I'll show it to you. Number one, I've got to get in there, and number two, I've got to try and set up in there. So the alternative is to come out on this patch where it's a bit more exposed, but it has got this long grass. But there's a house there. This is all houses. Well, I think you can see the roofs. It's all houses. Okay, I'm going to go for a minute and let my gut settle in. Okay, so that is all set up. Right, you can't see it. Okay, then I won't make this too long. It's okay, it's not a bad little spot. So, yeah, I shall see you in the morning, guys. And thank you so much to those girls. Good morning. So, that was quite a nice little spot. Turned out to be in the end. I've noticed though that I don't sleep a lot through the night, but I tend to sleep like sort of early hours. Once it gets to like sort of 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then I end up getting a good few hours sleep. And I think it's because I can switch off at those early hours. You know, it's like I sort of think, okay, I'm safe now. I've gone through the night, and it's like then my body decides it wants to proper close down and let me get a few hours sleep. So it's just something I've noticed over the last, well, probably couple of months or so that happens. But anyway, let's spin you around. I forgot what I was doing. See from down here where I am, like low down, those bushes cover everything. Oh, but when I stand up in a minute, I'll do a proper shot, and then you'll get to see it. But first, I'm going to get changed, pack everything away. The tent's wet. It has been raining for a couple of hours, but it's stopped. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. See you in a bit. So there she is in all her glory this morning. Let me spin you around. Let's start there. Nice bit of wind protection and stuff from these little trees. That's where it is. I was very lucky that you see the big, like thorns or whatever they are, thistles and that, stinging nettles, are all quite high. They're up to about waist height. And then just here, for whatever reason, maybe the sun doesn't get to this area as much or something, it just sort of went a bit flat. And that's when I saw the tent. And this is where I was debating going inside here, but I couldn't see properly to get in here. And every time I moved, there was a load of birds flapping around and all that. And I thought, well, and I'm glad I didn't now, because I didn't seal the little loose sticks that are, the branches that are sticking out there. Didn't seal them, so it could have possibly ripped the tent. But it's done. Try and give you what it looks like from the tent. Like that. There we go. I'm curious, before I pack it away, if it can be seen. Sorry. Look how high they are. So that's where they are. Up to my boobies. Come out here. I don't even know if you could see it from there. Maybe I lived there all winter. Yeah, you can't even see it now. How cool. Can't even see it from anywhere. Even the police who are down there can't see it. You can see it a bit from there. You're at my eye level. I always, just so you know guys, whenever I'm doing this, like these things, I hold you at my eye level, so you get to see what, you know, kind of how it looks. And unless you come in here, about there, you start seeing it. Which I don't know why anyone would come this far in. But you see, like last night, what I was saying, you actually have to walk through these things when it gets dark. It's okay during the daytime, but when it's dark and you're on your own, it's different. It's a different ball game. But anyway, let me pack this beauty away, get myself down to Wetherspoons. I love being in towns where there's a Wetherspoons. I know that makes a lot of you laugh, but I can't help it. I love the place. I think it's brilliant. So go and plug in, get myself a bit of tea and toast, and sit there all day, edit, do whatever else I've got to do, try and do all the admin stuff. Hopefully I get a whole film done today and can get that out to you guys, and then I might come back to this spot. I know where it is, you know, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, see you in a bit. And there she is, all packed away, all tucked away. Tobe the tortoise is heading for Wetherspoons. Tobe the tortoise or Tobe, either one, don't care. So yeah, leave no trace as always. I've got nothing to show you this time though, because I didn't use anything, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, you can come for a little walk up the road with me, I guess. Must be a police station and a fire station in there. But yeah, so lots of these type of days that I'm going to do now are like my sort of admin office days, if you like. I have to try and find somewhere where I can connect to Wi-Fi, albeit very slow Wi-Fi, and do what I got to do. Keep trying to grow this channel, so you know, hopefully the ads that come on, the YouTube place the ads on there, hopefully it brings in a little bit more revenue, and then maybe I could do the odd night in like a B&B or a travel lodge, something like that, where I can really sort of replenish, recharge, sleep safe for the night. And what I mean by sleep safe is let my body proper switch off, have a shower or bath and all that. I would like all of those things. I'm not someone who, and you'll know this if you go back and watch some of the other videos, or it becomes apparent as time goes along anyway, I'm not someone who wants to spend my entire life living in a tent. Living in the tent is just what I'm prepared to do while I try and grow a new life, to get away from the old life that once sort of suffocated me so badly, you know. And whilst I'm staying in the tent, I kind of try and have fun with it, try and make the most of it. My strongest asset is this. I've done a lot of work on this up here. And it's always that within the videos that I try and show and demonstrate, and hopefully help others see areas of their minds that perhaps is holding them back from doing what they'd like to do. You know, I don't have all the answers, but I have all my answers. Or put it this way, I know when to ask questions about myself, and then I'll find what it is that's, you know, what it is that ever's sort of holding me back, if you like. Wow, considering you was just going to walk out of the tent area with me, that got a little bit deep. But I love doing that. It's what happens. So yeah, that's what I'd like to do. The channel to get big enough that it kind of provides that bit of income, and then I can sort of move around a bit more freely as well. Get to other places, and you know, I suppose have that little income comes in that, like, did I say this already, that I could spend the odd night in a travel lodge or stuff like that. Anyway, replenish the kit as well, that's the thing. Replenish the kit when that needs to. I need a new tent. This one's now got a hole in the bottom of it, you know, and you can replace things quite easily without having to think about it. But that's all part of the journey that I wanted to experience, that I need to experience. I think I said right back in the early days when I was in the Peak District and the Lake District, sort of 12, 13 months ago, I need to experience this journey. There's so many more layers to all of us as humans, but I knew with me personally, there were so many more layers to me to come yet, even though I had done a ton of inner work and I was feeling great in life. That's why I started doing this. I knew I could sort of handle it, if you like. And no, that's not egotistical, it's just speaking clearly, speaking free of ego. You know, I knew I could handle it, so I'd done a ton of work on myself. But I also knew there was a ton more to come. You know, and that's why I always wanted to experience the journey, and I have experienced it, and I've been experiencing it. And so now for me to see the channel growing lets me know that the universe, the vibrations, the energies that I now feel are really in the right flow, because it's telling me, it's letting me know you're ready for what's to come next. So with that said, I'll see you in Wetherspoons, and thank you so much for always listening. I love you all. So I kind of made a little error earlier today when I was in King's Lynn. I decided I wanted to get out of King's Lynn. I wasn't going to film it. I just kind of want to get on with the journey now and kind of get going. I'd spent 8 hours odd editing a video, which I think would have been the last one you would have watched. Yeah, it would have been the last one you would have watched, the one where I'm in Cromer. And anyway, I bought some food. I thought, right, I'm going to come out of King's Lynn, bought some food to put in my backpack so I can go along the coastal path with it, do a night out on the coastal path and whatnot. Oh no, it's starting to rain. Left King's Lynn. Now to get out of King's Lynn, you have to walk about 1.5 miles up the road, go over a bridge, and then walk about 3 miles back down the opposite direction to get to the coastal path. So I'd done all of that walk, got to the coastal path and realised I'd left a little bit of food and the water that I'd bought on a bench in a park. I thought I can't walk all the way back to King's Lynn, so I kind of cut across 2.3 miles back on myself and ended up in this little village here, which I've forgotten the name of, but I can leave a thing down there. Hope all this is making sense, by the way. Anyway, I just went in the local Morrison's, this tiny little place. He said, where can I pitch my tent? It's going to thunder, it's going to lightning. And they said, quickly get yourself down there, turn right, go up the top. There's a football pitch. No one should see you there. And I was like, oh, I'm good at football pitches. So that's where we're heading now. But I hope that kind of made sense. I haven't filmed lots of this. I'll put some clips in there, but it won't be lots of like me talking or anything like that. I kind of just wanted to get on, but this little bit was quite interesting. So I always said, if anything sort of interesting happens on the nights out, I will record it. And you can, let me show you. Sky is closing in fast, and it has already started to rain. And they said go up to the football pitch, and they now follow me on YouTube, so they're going to see if I do go there. But I'm kind of looking at this little park here as well. It's a bit more public though, and I don't want to upset any locals, but ooh. See that? You can wonder if there's somewhere under there. No, I'll just go to the football pitch. Yeah, I'll just go to the football pitch, sit up there so it won't upset anyone. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Okay, bye. Right, I'm gonna have to find somewhere fast because the heavens are grumbling away. Let's have a quick walk around this football pitch. I mean, this grass looks lovely as well, nice and comfortable to stay on. Oh no, it's right outside the doors, and I thought it was the back. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'll keep you posted though. Okay, in the distance over there, I can see a gap between the bushes. But the one thing that's so interesting is I know I'm going to sleep here. It's weird how I just know. I get a good vibe from it. That the worst that could happen is I get asked to move on, but I feel safe. That's always the thing with me, and that's what the lesson was, by the way. The humbling. That's what the humbling was. Was to remind me that although, I kind of been doing this a while and feel safe, I'm happy and physically fit and whatnot. It was like, don't get complacent, and that was what the lesson was. Although if I felt completely unsafe when I was in Cromer, and those cars were there and that, I would have packed up and I would have gone. I didn't, but it did put me in the frame of mind of that could have been other people, so it kind of put me there, and that was the humbling, that was the lesson. That was like, don't forget, you're a guy in a tent, you can't see out, so stay switched on, in other words, let's get things back into priority here. So anyway, there we go. So that's this tent set up, I think, in record time. Everything's inside, but there is, just over here, there's a guy coming round, so I'm gonna be very polite, very nice, and we should be okay. Most people are okay. Anyway, let me give you a spin round. Everything was fine. There he goes, just there. Thank you very much. His name was Sean, lovely guy. We just chatted for 20 minutes or so. He said, yeah, he should be fine over here. No one to give you bother. He's coming back over at 6 in the morning, so That sky just a second ago was just pure orange. Beautiful. There's always reasons things happen. I wasn't supposed to go down that coastal path tonight. I was supposed to come here and have a peaceful night under this tree. That's beautiful. Let me turn you around. There's a tent. Lovely. It's got that lovely feel to it, that grey feel, and I don't think Sean doesn't think so either, that it's going to rain here. I think it's going to pass straight over. I think it's going to blow straight over. It's so calm. Anyway, enough of me rambling. I'm going to get in there, make some food, and yeah, try and have a nice sleep. Dog tired as usual. Okay, night. So a very hot and sticky evening this evening, but I thought I'd show you my food, what I've had. It's nothing glamorous. I didn't do anything cooking it, guys, like no filming. I just wanted to get it cooked, but I'll always share what I'm doing with you. So there it is, tinned potatoes with 2 eggs on it. Sounded wrong, didn't it? 2 eggs on it. So I've just boiled up the potatoes in the frying pan, then drained the water from it, then fried the dry fried the potatoes for about 3-4 minutes, let them sort of crisp up a little bit, and then just cracked 2 eggs over them and just sort of scrambled them in with it, and then salt and pepper. That's it. That's all I'm having tonight. And it's nice. It tastes nice after all that sort of hiking and messing around and whatever else. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'll always have to be honest though, would I rather, like, I don't know, a big dinner with all veg all over it? Yes, I would. But when you have that every night, or for me anyway, when I have that every night, well, I want more and more and more of that. When I have this, it's like, well, I've got no choice. That's all there is. So you kind of have to just enjoy it and get on with it. It's such a weird thing to try and explain, but anyway, I'm going to go and enjoy it. Okay, bye-bye. So that's the end of that little camp on this other football pitch that I'm on. Leave no trace, as always, even when birds poop all over your tent. And this is where we are today. But I'm going to go and sit down on the benches down there, make a cup of coffee, sit there for a little while. I feel like I need some quiet contemplation time. How about that? I've just come up through Lynn and gone through a couple of other little towns. I kind of wanted to get a speed on and just kind of zip up that east coast a little bit. So I had to come into town, obviously, to do some editing and stuff like that. And I thought, while I'm here, I'm just going to get several bus links to get me sort of further on, if you like. And I've stopped off at this place called Boston. I've come up through Spalding and other areas, and this is like almost like a mini representation of Salisbury Cathedral. I say mini, it's still very huge and very impressive building. And it's great because I can hear the peregrines on there now. I kind of recognise that calling. And it was on another cathedral on the way up as well. So it's weird why they always seem to gravitate towards these big towers. But again, it's just full of all that beautiful architecture and design, and I'm sure I'm going to keep moving through that. I don't want to stop and get caught up. So but I'm sure there's tons of other information about this place, and Boston is definitely somewhere I'll be coming back to have a look around. I've got about 24 places that I'm definitely going back to have a look around. So yeah, there we go. Boston Cathedral. So after a day of bus hopping, you join me in Skegness at 8:30 at night. I tell you, bus hopping in the UK, guys, or particularly England, I can't really speak so much for Wales or Scotland. This is Skegness, the clock tower at Skegness. I've never been here before, but God, it is so good. You can get so far with such a minimal budget. I mean, I've had 3 very long bus rides today, and I've covered so much of the part of the East Coast where I was really struggling with, you know, with reception and stuff like that, and that was exhausting me, trying to come in town and go out to edit and come in and go out. So in the end, I thought, you know what, a few days off, a little bit here and there, reset, recenter. I've always got to look after my health, guys. I am out here for real, you know, and there's kind of no go home each night and then rest and edit, and you know, there's not that, so I kind of have to look after it a little bit. But so yeah, it's a clock tower, 8:30. Looks like a good little town, this, so very buzzing. But being late and being a Friday night, I'm gonna have to get a shift on me trying to find somewhere to sleep, because when I was down at the last place, which was it's gone out my head. I'll leave the thing there. It's gone out my head where I was. I saw a bus that just said Skegness, and I thought, oh my God, I could get so far up back into sort of areas where I can do this a little bit better and a little bit easier. None of it's easy, by the way. None of this is easy, but it's something that I do quite enjoy. But it will tax me, but I will still try and look for those options that are probably the easiest out of them all. So yeah, and I kind of wanted to get off of that part of the Norfolk coast, because it was just there was just no reception, nothing. Anyway, I'm probably waffling a bit because there's tons going on around me. You can probably see it. That's why I like recording sometimes. As I'm walking through, you kind of get a bit of a feel for the atmosphere, but I'm always a bit concerned that perhaps you can't hear me. But yeah, so anyway, let me get a shift on, try and find somewhere to sleep. Hello. And yeah, I'll keep you posted as to how we get on. So I've come right out of the town centre, which is down there. It's holiday season as well, and being a seaside place, it's really, really busy. I spoke to a couple of locals, asked them if they got any advice where I could perhaps go, and the only offering they really gave was get as far out of town as you can, because it's quite a rough place at the weekends, especially in the holiday seasons. How true that is, I don't know, but it certainly seemed like it would get a bit fruity on a Friday night after a few sherbets. So yeah, anyway, I'm kind of looking at all this stuff here is all green, and down the bottom there, quite a way off yet, it gets green down there, so that's where I'm headed. But we'll see what happens. So keep you posted. Well, so it's a little after 10 o'clock. I can't find anywhere to sleep. The dunes that run along this beach, well, they're not really dunes, they're just flat. So I can't find nowhere there. What I didn't know was that from Skegness all the way up till, well, I don't know how far, it is just holiday park after holiday park after holiday park. For as far as the eye can see, it's just all masses of caravans. So I got no chance of finding somewhere kind of finding somewhere a little bit sort of secluded and cut off. So I'm just going to keep walking down the beachfront, you know. But yeah, these are the times when I like to point out to you guys that, you know, it's not all glory all the time. I've been hiking a long time, very, very tired. Just want to go to bed, you know, and who knows where this night ends. Who knows how long I'm going to be hiking for, or what happens if you get any sleep. And these are the times when it's the nervous system can start becoming exhausted. So I know some of you guys ask me like, how long is this going to last for? And I've always said the same thing for as long as I can remember, or from my first videos. My body will let me know when it's done. The moment my body starts letting me know it's done, then the journey's done, you know, and then we move on to something else. It's not like, I don't think it will just suddenly sort of stop. I think it probably would fizzle into something else, if anything. But I think the movement would always keep going on, whether that would be, you know, going from town to town, mountain range, moving around by camper van, motorbike, or, you know, being able to get the train to places, buses, and just keep living that sort of nomadic life according to how I want to live nomadic life, if you like. So I've managed to find somewhere and I've just plonked it right on the beach. You can see the dome there. Not ideal, but I've got no choice because the beach just goes on and on and on and on. Yeah, but it's been a very, very exhausting night. But I'm here, it's pitched up, yeah, and I'm going to get inside and do nothing, blow my air mattress up, get the sleeping bag out, and then just lie there for a little while and hopefully settle down a little bit and maybe even get some sleep. I think probably at about 4 in the morning, once I know I'm safe, I might doze off. And then because it's a beach, there's a possibility I could just leave it pitched here for a while, you know, during the day with everyone walking past. Some people pitch tents on the beach in the day anyway, so but yeah, not ideal, not the best of nights. And I know sometimes it seems like it's always good fun, you know, and whatever else. Sometimes it really can be, other times it can be exhausting. When you have too many of those nights on the spin, it can be a real drain on the nervous system. So I'm very tired, guys, and love you all. Night night. So there was the tent last. So it never ceases to amaze me how you know that when you've fallen into the right vibes or the flow or the energies of the universe, that things go right. This wonderful place here called The Hide, I'll leave the address and stuff like that on the clip. Fabulous place. I've been sat in here for about the last 5 hours, and the owners of this place, whose names have actually gone out of my head, I meet so many people, plus I'm dog tired, it's gone out of my head, but they've let me sit in here all day long. They didn't know I was a YouTuber. They didn't know I had a YouTube channel, I should say. It's probably a nicer way of saying it. But these guys, they gave me a dinner, then gave me an afters. I think they felt sympathy for me because they could see how dog tired I was. And then they've even let me stay on their campsite over that side, over there. But this place genuinely looks lovely. So always good to plug out these guys when you get past, especially when you're treated like that. So when I'll be in there in the morning, I'll have a coffee with the guys, I'll get their names again, and then I can say thank you properly. But let me spin you around for now. Beautiful place. But there's all fishing that goes on in here. A little patio area to sit around. I imagine this is just such a lovely holiday place. And if it seems like I'm kind of promoting and plugging these places, like I said before, I'm going to do that. These guys didn't know I was a YouTuber, and I asked for a drink, and I ended up getting a dinner and a pudding and a place to sleep, just simply because they said you look so tired. And do I want to sleep here? I said yes, and now I'm just walking. They gave me a little map to where I can go and camp. And for someone like me, who gets, like I can get now, which is dog tired, very, very tired. Little things like that, where I now don't have to think about where I'm sleeping. I've had a lovely big dinner, which was really nice. I had steak and ale pie, mashed potato and greens. Oh, to have vegetables. And it's great for me because I know that I'm safe here when I'm sleeping tonight. So it's I can allow my nervous system to shut right down. Right, it says follow that. There's the map. We're on here. So follow the road round, go around there, round there. Oh, okay. I think I know where we're going. Oh, look, under these trees. Oh, brilliant! Look, my own little spot down here. How cool! Oh, how nice to not have to walk around wondering where I'm going to sleep. Sometimes I'm just so tired I haven't got the energy for it, and it's normally the universe will deliver. It's brilliant. So a big shout out to Joe and Ashley at the Heron Mead Caravan Club and Fishing Lake, and the lovely restaurant where I had something to eat last night, the Hyde, which I mentioned in the other clip, or I think I mentioned in the other clip. That's where I stayed last night, just under this little copse of trees, on their grounds, their private grounds. So it was lovely to be able to actually get in there and switch down, you know, really turn everything off and just breathe. Because most of the time when I'm traveling around, and as much as the wild camping and that sort of stuff looks great fun, guys, I still have to find that place to sleep. That's not me moaning about it. That's the way of life that I've chosen for the moment. That's the way of life I've chosen for the moment. However, it is the reality, you know, that is what goes on behind the scenes, and I try to give that across. I guess my downfall is I constantly laugh about things, but then that is my, you know, that's my nature. I don't I won't stress or catastrophize things that don't need stressing or catastrophizing about. Like, if I can't find somewhere to sleep, well, I can't find somewhere to sleep. That's all there is to that. You know, it's what do I expect? I've decided to live out on the road so I don't pay rent or have a mortgage, and by not having rent or a mortgage, I don't have to go to work. By not going to work, with that time I get back from not going to work, I can put the best of that time back into me and try and create a new life. You know, so that I'm aware that whilst I'm doing that and I decide to live out of a tent on the road, even though that's a temporary thing, I'm prepared to do it for as long as necessary in order for a change of my life to come. However, that does mean that whilst I'm doing that life, times like that are going to happen, and they happen a lot when I can't find somewhere to sleep and I have to walk for hours and hours and hours on very little sleep, very little rest, very little nourishment, and a lot of the time very little money in the bank and very little human contact. You know, and that's not a sob story. It's trying to point out the reality, and that's always what I wanted this channel to be about. But I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is that all of us are capable of making some kind of change in life. But I think what stops us from making that change a lot of the time is not being able to see what that change will create in us in the future. And I think that was always what stopped me from making the change. And that's when I thought, well, why don't I be the one that films that documents that shares that with the world, so that hopefully it helps others break free of the chains that confine them mentally, you know, in that mental box that we've been trained to stay in. You know, why don't I film that and try that? So all of this stuff that I do out here is the whole thing is an experiment. You know, it's an experimentation. I don't actually have a big ideology plan of where it is that I would like to go. But what I did know was that I didn't want to stay where I was. And I don't mean physically stay where I was. I mean that lifestyle of getting up in the morning, going to work, get the money to pay for the flat or whatever. You know, that kind of life, the 9-to-5 life. I didn't want to stay in that place. I wanted there to be more. And I remember I kept thinking to myself, but what is it I'm going after? What is it that I want? And I never knew. And then I started to think to myself, and this is all me, guys, you know, this is how it was for me. And then I started to think to myself, how can I possibly know what it is that I would want in life when I'm constantly giving the best of me to a life that I don't want? So it was lovely to have a proper night's sleep and relax. I managed to get my t-shirt washed and socks washed in the sink, in the toilets and stuff, and then just sat there for about an hour and a half drying it all out and whatever else. So it's nice to get that, just to feel kind of a little bit human again, you know, clean. You know, sometimes when you get in and you're sticky and you're sweaty and you have that shower, it's like, just that reset. That's kind of what it was. I'd had the same t-shirt on for days on end, you know, and after a while that sort of thing gets a little bit grotty. No one likes that. So it's always lovely to get an opportunity to get that clean and whatever else. But lovely little night stay, like I say. I'm grateful for everything that these guys done for me. Leave no trace. And yeah, I'm not sure where I'm heading now, but I'm gonna go in there, have one last drink, say goodbye to the guys. Hopefully see them again at some point. And yeah, right, I'll see you in a bit.